It was a stormy night, and Sarah was home alone. She had just finished watching a horror movie and was feeling on edge, but tried to calm herself down and distract herself by reading a book. However, despite her best efforts, she couldn't shake the feeling that someone or something was watching her. As she was reading, she heard a strange noise. It sounded like footsteps coming from her upstairs bedroom. Sarah crept slowly up the stairs, her heart pounding in her chest. She reached the top of the stairs and slowly pushed open the door to her bedroom. It was empty, but there was an eerie feeling in the air. Suddenly, she heard another noise. It sounded like something was moving in the hallway outside the bedroom. Sarah slowly stepped out of the room and saw a shadowy figure moving in the darkness. She tried to call out, but her voice was caught in her throat. The figure moved closer and closer, and Sarah was too afraid to move. She couldn't tell if it was an intruder or something supernatural. She wished she hadn't been alone in the house. Finally, the figure came into focus and Sarah could see that it was just a coat hanging on the door. She laughed with relief at how silly she had been for letting her overactive imagination get the bees of her. But as she turned around to go back to bed, she saw something far more terrifying. There was a figure standing in the shadows behind her in the hall. Her heart raced as she realized that the coat had been moved and someone must have entered the house. Sarah ran to lock herself in her bedroom, but the door wouldn't budge. The figure was getting closer and closer, and she was beginning to panic. Finally, she managed to get the door locked, and she sat trembling in her bed, listening as the figure moved slowly around the house. She realized that there was no way out, and she was at the mercy of whoever or whatever was in her home. The night seemed to stretch on forever, but eventually the figure left. Sarah stayed locked in her bedroom until morning, when she called the police and had the locks changed. From that day on, she never stayed alone in her house again, and always made sure to keep the doors and windows locked at all times. She had learned that even the smallest noises and fears could grow into terrifying experiences with the power of imagination.